everyone. I've got a request and a brief message. Could we all please start considering like the feet under our earth, that we have more depth? We do, as a plant on this earth. More creation seeds to blossom and bloom. And the only way we do that is the first acknowledgement that we've been rushing around in life and we actually have more depth to come up and out. Like a tree, like a bouquet, endlessly, new delight, different levels of growth, different brightness due to different feelings, different allowances of cycles through the whole system and our system. We have more depth. So take time in consideration before acting with a simple question like, do I have more depth here in this response? Before response. Do I have more depth? But it's more like a daily foundational practice to notice, observing yourself, how we've acted so fast in the wheel of life and we've missed the nourishment and goodness of life itself due to the sweeping influence of technology and confusion of the mystery of our whole selves. So let's pull a couple of cards. One from the Little Sage deck, which I've had for a while, now known as Helen Jacobs. It was the Little Sage back then. And for our depth, there's a timing card. And I believe this will be telling us about divine timing with things. And divine timing is perhaps get the head out of the way of thinking things should be a certain way and get more depth about your life, that the whole of life is working with you and things don't always show up the way you want them to. And then let's get an Angel of the Day card. So that was Helen Jacobs, the Little Sage, and our Angel of the Day. Something to carry with you as you slow down where you may normally speed up and rush life. Instead, what more interiorly do I have to offer? In consideration that you are not just a upper part of your being running around, rushing, that you actually have more depth than what you've known so far. And it's continually wanting to open. And we have, I'm not good at these pronunciations, Habu here. So I believe biblical angels, these are. Fertility and growth, this means it's time, it's your time to thrive. How can you expand today? It doesn't matter which angels we call on, it's all divinity connection of authenticity. Angels remind us of the higher, truthful resonance in our gut side of life. Okay? That we always do have more to offer, and they are here to help and guide toward that. Not the opposite to that, that there isn't help. And so slowly but surely we begin to acknowledge it when we accept we have more depth. That we are eternal souls visiting a planet, and we have a lot more than the human beings we've been so far. It just helps you to keep flexible in the forward momentum that we are energy and change. Because no one is put here to be the same. Like age 20, you're going to be the same at age 50. So let's really access the honesty of that and keep asking ourselves, like an unearthing kind of grounding, by going within, centering in the quiet, acknowledging every single one of us has depth. So what we may run around thinking we are and know and are successful at, don't forget, every one of us still has depth. That's never going to end. Whilst you're on a planet, you're going to be a root system. So does a plant always grow the same? The leaves fall off, we trim them a bit, tidy things up. You're going to have more growth. You're going to have different seasons. You're going to have cycles of life. To live, so grow vibrantly, share who you are, new, and the old falls off. So be prepared that letting go of big and small just means you've got more to come up and express. So we'll finish with the timing card, unless there's any other messages that come through from this. All right, and the timing card says, time is infinite. It is not limited to a clock-based time, nor even limited to this one lifetime. There is a perfect timing at play in your life. You just aren't always in control of it. Work with the timing the universe presents. You are always exactly where you need to be in any given moment for the highest good of all involved. And that's all of us. Because we affect people that we don't know, and we affect people more than we do know. And so too, we are being affected in this earth climate as well. The universe plays a hand in influencing the timing of your life, and in this way, time is measured by progress of lessons rather than by physical clock-based time. When you feel blocked or limited in your progress, the universe may be working to ensure you really learn the lesson at hand. What do you need to learn, heal, or process before you can move on? So what really is it? Because we're not meant to keep holding on to anything of the same. We are meant to flow with a momentum of accepting change and really dig a little deeper into our own consciousness as to how we feel. Drop away the heavy, old, and let ourselves into the mystery of becoming, more of wholeness, which is working with the universe. Timing can also be affected by another's ability to move through their lessons. Perhaps the holdup is at someone else's end, or perhaps the universe is still working to bring you the best possible outcome. Patience will help this situation. And the affirmation is, I trust everything occurs in its divine right order. So yeah, interesting. This card also brings up how we have soul tribes on planet Earth. So if you're meant to meet up with someone, it's a lot to do with contracts of clearing old to up level out of the old into more of the soul. So people you're connected to, and sometimes you scratch your head wondering, you know, what is going on? Why is this repeating? How come I've got to know about it? And I'm pretty sure we all know about this. Well, take the time with depth and ask yourself, are you doing all you can to stay present with releasing off you, off your mind, off your thoughts, off your feelings, off your consciousness, association in the world, in reactive states, because reactive will give you a big highlight of what is undealt with to clear out for your depth, or to go down with it to clear out and sit with your depth. Because you want to essentially find ease and peace. Okay? We don't have cycles in life, so we keep going round in things. We got to learn the message. And the message right now is depth. Don't forget, you are an eternal soul. Okay? And these bodies are our play creation bodies for this lifetime. They have a lot of meaning as well. That's for you to know and work out with your guidance team once you find that depth to want to understand. So, yeah. Let's allow ourselves to thrive. And how can we expand today? Whether that's in the quiet, or how we truly take our quiet into the world. Yeah. That's a most interesting point to expand on, actually. So this is my expand for today to do with this angel of the day. I want to expand the fact that if we're always in the world and we're always being who we think we need to be, we don't get to know that quiet energy that can embrace the world, your true self, embrace the world in a deeper way by knowing oneself. So in the quiet, you strengthen what it is you stand for, like what I strongly stand for is that no matter what is going on, what situation, we must always find a kind way. Okay? A kind way. So if your intention is kindness, then that will come out in truthfulness in whatever it is the message you're trying to get across. But if your inner intent is, say, taking or something, like it's actual intent, then what will come out of you is of that level of consciousness, underneath or even out on top, because the taking frequency thinks that it should have. That's it. So it should, here's the world, it should, the person should have. Where if your inner intent is, no matter what, I must stand for love, which means no matter what's going on in this world, be a kind person, so that whenever you're dealing with a situation, your intention doesn't shift. And that's your earth grounding. You know, like standing up for the truth where you see kindness is not happening. Like just simplicity of kindness. Like, you know, just respect, just no attachment, you know. Sometimes there is just the aggression of attachment, and the intent is not built on anything really for earthing a healthy foundation. So in the quiet, you build that awareness foundation of anything of the mystery of the universe and our connection. Now, mystery doesn't mean we're still trying to work it out. There's truths in the universal cosmic mystery holding us all together, and you can rely on them. And in the quiet, you develop that and your connection of standing with it, for it, and how it plays a part with you and everyone. And that's the strength. And so the expansion is whether what you find in your quiet, which is not always of, you know, a quiet nature, but it is that inner conviction and really conviction that the trunk of my tree is built on this. I know myself, and I've studied it, and the bark on my tree, the bark of growth on my tree, is built from truths. That I'm here temporarily and I'm going to make the most of all I've got. So, your tree then in the world isn't of easily silenced, because it's built on truth. And that's what we always want to fall back into whenever the world gets too heavy, and we want to keep replenishing and come from there, so that we can have like heaven to earth, clear flow. This is who I am. This is what I stand for. There's nothing wrong with it. And if the world wants to throw harsh weather at me or try and squash and block the sun from me, I know the truth. The truth is, my tree and its bark, nourishment and growth is built on way more than what this world throws at me. So in your nourishment of your trunk of your tree, you can actually allow that solitude, integrity, be stabilized, and your beautiful life expression is much. And there's no one on this planet that can mess with that. It can only feel like they can mess with it. So we come together now in this light uprising where this is what we stand for, and we know the games that can get played. We just know it at our heart and above. What the world can try and say and do and make themselves believe that we need to be something else that pleases. So there's beauty in this. There's not a battle. There's not a fight, because this is universal strength. One with the light. We are collaborative and free. beauty. Represented in those chakra colors from within. And we let them expand freely. So I wish for you to thrive today and always. Guides of the highest light, is there any more messages for us? I do believe there's one little message as I lay my eyes upon my little Bhagavad Gita that I haven't looked at for a little while. And it's not to open it, because I asked that in the instant. So my eyes were drawn to it and I felt it in here. I mean, I'm looking at the mermaid deck and that speaks as well, the mermaid cards, but it's just not calling. So laid my eyes on this, and I do believe it is the front cover, if anything, because I asked that in the moment, like, what is it in there? And it was just this picture resonance lit that sometimes in life we're going to have to do things we don't actually think is the way. When, you know, I'm not sure if you know the story that really begins and supports the wholeness of this, but when you're divinely led, you might have to do things in life that sort of break apart what you think is established, like the current system on all levels coming apart to get light in. So sometimes we're going to feel broken apart because there's light and soul contract and messages coming in where we're one with it. So the battle that goes on where one doesn't want to do something because he'll cause he thinks he'll cause a negative effect going against the current situation, his life experience, and everything held in place, but he has to go against it, and it's going to change everything. The story of Arjuna. So yeah, don't forget, feeling of breaking apart the old is because the new rises within, from within. It rises in us within, and we let it out. So let's open it up to the universal guidance and follow along if you need any further assistance. I'm always putting stuff out. Okay, bye for now, everyone. Take care. Much love.